All right, so we should be live now. So thank you so much for joining the 63rd IELTS Q&A session. And if you guys are active on our YouTube channel, you should know that we have changed the schedules, and from now onwards, we'll be having our Q&A sessions just a day prior to the examination date, the actual examination date shared by IDP. So any questions so far in that particular matter, how that works? Can you see my screen?
Yes,
All
sir.
right, perfect. So I'll just
Yes, sir.
So if you go for pen and paper, academics, any random city, every month there should be 4 test dates, and from now onwards our Q&A session will be one day prior. So next month it will be 2nd of July, sorry, 2nd of August, 7th, 16th, and the 23rd. So this is how I'll be starting our Q&A sessions from now onwards. The reason I made this small shift is because in the past there were many incidents where students were saying that the Q&A sessions are on Saturday night, but their tests were taken on Saturday, just like you can see on the screen. So a student attending the exam on 3rd of August won't be able to attend the Q&A sessions, and even if they do, it won't make any sense after the test. Any questions or queries in this one, in the change that we made? So any suggestions that I could take to improve these sessions to help you guys better? All right, perfect. So let's start the session. And I think it's just Jay who is going to take the test tomorrow. Everyone else is here just as listeners, or perhaps you guys might have any questions. Let's start with Yelda. I think Yelda, you have already attended the previous sessions. Am I audible, guys?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
All right,
Can you
thank you,
hear
Jay.
me?
Yes, Yelda.
Yes, it is my first time doing this channel.
Okay, I'll have to stop you there. Your voice is too low. Can you please come closer to your microphone? Please try again. One sec. Okay, Yelda, if you said something, I think it's not just me. Nobody heard anything. You should try again. All right. And if you guys are just joining us listeners, that's completely fine. Rishi, how are you? How's it going? Jamshid, long time no see.
Hello,
Hi there.
can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Hi teacher.
How are you, man? It's been a long time.
Yeah, it has been a long time that we didn't talk. Yeah.
Yeah. So how's it going, man? What are you doing these days?
Well, some of the funny or insane things happened because after getting 7 from IELTS, I tried to get a job, like teaching related job, some learning centers. But what they told me that eventually I need to get 8 to get hired.
So a band-aid in order to just get hired.
Yes, because in here I live in Uzbekistan, but you may see that it's not such a high demand for a high band level scores, but in Samarkand it's kind of insane business because if I go somewhere else, there's only just enough people got 7, and that's why I need to get a little bit higher. Yes. Also, the maybe the I don't have enough experience for teaching,
Hmm.
but doesn't mean I can't teach people, and that's why the now I I mean I need to start preparation again, yeah,
Okay.
because after getting my level, yes, I think now I am speaking English.
Yeah. I think the last time you already scored a 7, right?
Yes.
Okay, so here's a good news for you. I'll just quickly pull up the CEFR band score.
By the way, I guess I told you I have also several level. I mean the
Yeah, the
several level
CEFR
C1
level.
also.
Yeah, so I think this is the test you took, and this is the level that you are saying you are at currently.
Yep.
All right, so
But as you can see, from the way I speak now, you can't say now this guy is an advanced level student now.
it is true because your pronunciation has become much better than the past, and your sentences are more clear. They are more organized. So here's my personal observation, and what I've noticed is the students at A1 and A2. This is where it takes a lot of time to understand the language because there are so many things that you need to understand just to proceed with the language with the next levels. But the ones at B1 level, they are the adamant ones, they are the stubborn ones because somehow they reached this level and now they need to advance to the next level. And especially non native speakers at this level, they find it very challenging just to hit this level, B2 level. So reaching a 6.5, reaching a 7, it's extremely challenging for these people. But once you reach B2, you have that caliber, you have that mental endurance to understand the concepts, and then once you reach C1, you'd at least have a proper clear idea of what to do and what not to do in order to reach those C2 levels. So the higher you go, yes, it gets extensive, but you'll at least know what you're supposed to do. But at the lower level, it's too challenging to just understand what to do next. So basic, independent,
I
and proficient.
Yeah. Sorry for interrupting. I also got score breakdown. Can I send you
Sure, you can do that.
personally? I mean,
Sure.
and you can just take it.
We'll
Yeah.
keep it private. We'll keep it up between us, and just let me send it to me.
Yeah, nothing. I mean, it is not that
That's okay.
secret thing. I mean, yeah. Now let me find you.
Hi there, Abby. Long time.
Jason, hope that you're doing good today.
How are you, man? How's it going?
I'm good, thank you so much. I'm pretty good.
So, if you guys have any questions, you can simultaneously keep asking so we can proceed with the session.
So, what do we have today, sir?
Okay,
What
so
is
as per the schedule by IDP in India, we have the test day tomorrow, and a lot of students are preparing for the test, and probably a few of them have their tests tomorrow. So, in case you have booked the test, we already have a student who has taken this test and who is about to take the test tomorrow. So, we are preparing for it. So, last days we are discussing about these things. So, Jay, you can start asking your questions because tomorrow is an important day for you.
Okay, and I was about to send you that para you wanted me to finish, but it it took some time to rephrase it.
Okay.
But I'll send it to you shortly.
All right.
And we discussed about the writing task one.
Mm-hmm.
So if you give me a quick revision of that uh, task, it would be better for me.
All right. So, writing task one or the overall?
Yeah, all overall and writing task one,
Okay. So,
both
we'll
of this. Both.
start with overall, and once we reach that writing task one part, I'll share a few things. Right, so I'll share my whiteboard. Yeah. Can you guys see the whiteboard?
Is visible.
Is it visible, the whiteboard?
Yes, it is, sir.
Okay, thank you so much, man. So this is something that you are supposed to do prior to the test date. First of all, make sure that you understand the context of the test. So if you are taking the computer based test, so there is a very good probability that L, R, W and S will be on the same date. Speaking will be taken separately, but this is the sequence for the test: listening, reading and then writing. However, on the other hand, if it is if it is paper based, your format would be writing, reading and then listening. And I suppose if today you are attending this session, that means your speaking is already done. So speaking would be taken on a separate date. And in most cases in computer based test, you will have LRWS on the same date. I've seen this as something common these days. Alright, so proceeding further, we'll start with the writing task. We'll start with the rubrics.
Sir. Hello.
Yeah.
Paper based in WLR.
Okay, sorry, my bad. WLR. Thank you. So writing, listening and reading. So we'll always start with writing task, and for writing task we'll only start with task 2. Any idea why we should start with task 2?
In paper-based format of this, we will start with writing, right? In the real exam.
In the real exam, but why should we start with task 2 and not task 1?
No, I mean, my exam were different. We start with listening. I'm just confusing them.
Okay, did you take the
It's
computer based
changing
or
them.
paper based test?
Paper-based.
Paper based test, and this is something that that IDP is following in India. So this is writing, listening and reading, and there was a confusion if you notice. So initially it was listening, reading and writing, then they changed it to writing, reading, listening, and now it is writing, listening and reading. And this is based on the feedbacks that they receive, that if they are taking the writing test or listening test first, they are struggling with the other test, so they are making changes. But either way,
What I have, what I have heard from some of the IDP officials in here, and they have some trainings and try to just explain what in IELTS. They said something like, okay, you know the sequence of this from listening and reading and writing, and this is for a purpose. And they said something like, you can learn some of things from listening and reading. Just how can I learn from that before moving to
actually you
writing?
can.
And yeah, this is what they told us, but I'm not sure. I don't care. But this is the system. I mean, that will take. First of all, it's listening, reading, and writing. Yeah.
True. See, it wouldn't make much of a difference in the skills, but when you're constantly listening to a language, let's say you first complete the listening, then the reading, you are already consumed 1.5 hour of content in the English language. So when you start your writing task, it's actually beneficial because you already consumed a lot of content in proper English. Alright, so this sequence was already good, but in India, IDP started experimenting with these things in the examination, and that is the reason we have this whole chaos of the sequence.
Yeah, if they establish the same thing in Uzbekistan, nobody will take an exam with IDP.
True.
People will start to use British Council.
See, we are unfortunate that we don't have British Council. We only have IDP in India. But either way, it's one and the same thing. The test quality is the same, the checking is the same, the criteria is the same, everything is the same. Right?
Okay.
But it's better to have 2 options than 1. So there is no chance of monopoly. Right. Anyway, let's continue with this. So task 2. The reason I asked you to start with task 2 is because when you start with task 2, you get a lot of time to think properly for the essay. Because when it comes to task 1, you don't have to use your brain much. You just need to convert visual data to a written data in a report form and making sure that it is academic. That's it. When it comes to task 2, The number of words are much higher, so 250 words as compared to task 1, that is just 150. So you need to write more, you need to think more, and you need to have critical thinking. So we have dedicated the initial 40 minutes for task 2. Is the reason clear why we should start with task 2 and not task 1?
Yes, sir.
All right. Another thing is, when it comes to the band score, task 2 consists of 66% of your bands, and task 2 is only 33%. So you get twice the score for task 2 and writing it properly. I've seen some students, what they do is they sacrifice task 1, and instead of taking 40 minutes, they take like 45 minutes for task 2, and they're only left with 15 minutes for task 1. And this is not a good practice, because you're robbing the time from a report that also has 33% of your bands. So never ever do that. So try your best to finish your essays in under 40 minutes. Is this clear?
Yeah, it's clear. Yeah. When it comes to my exam, 17 minutes left for task 1. Yeah, I wrote introduction and overview, and only 2 sentences for main body 1. I mean for paragraph, because tasks were quite kind of challenging. It was table. Now let me find it. Where is that table? Kind of yeah. Now I will send it to you.
Yeah, received it. All right, so this is what I received. Okay, before we proceed into the report part, are you guys clear with this part? Why we should start with task 2? Any doubts so far? I suppose not. So, report writing. So the table below shows the results of a survey of first year students taking various courses at a particular university. It shows how many of the students considered various aspects of their course very good. All right, so who will tell me the analysis of this table? Jamshid, have you already solved it?
Yep,
Okay.
I wrote something different, but previously I wrote some how to say table charts, but it is different, I guess,
Okay.
because here is some. Now, if you don't mind, I send it to you. Okay, I will send. But it's my task.
Sir, we should highlight the highest and lowest percentage of courses in this table, and then we move forward.
So which one do you think is the highest and the lowest?
If we consider economics, the lowest one is 55 in pre-course information, and the highest one is teaching quality. And second one is law, where 67 is teaching quality is lesser, least one, and the 80 resource. And
I
in
think the highest
commerce,
product is commerce. Sorry for interruption.
Sorry, yeah.
no worries.
I think
And the
someone
least
said something.
181 resource based.
Maybe I did not get your part.
So
You
least
said something about commerce.
Yeah, about the commerce, I think as compared to other parts of the student certification strategy, like the commerce having like way more than other two
Far better
remaining, you know, like,
percentages, or you can say more satisfaction.
yeah, more satisfaction, yeah.
And the least would be, in terms of this, 81. So on an average, it's
Yeah,
close to 90.
hmm
Yes, Jay, you were saying something.
I was just telling that resource print, the 81 is the lowest one.
Yeah. So now
That's from
these are the small marks or markers you can use in order to understand the report better, and this is something that is recommended for everyone, right? So let's say this is your report. So first thing, we'll talk about the structure and then we'll get into the details of this one. So I'll tell you all the three structures that are followed for report writing, and I'll tell you my personal suggestion of why I've personally followed this one. So many students write intro plus overall, then body 1, 2, and or 3. So this is optional, right? So this is one structure. Another structure is intro, body. Okay, I'll just copy from here. And then an overall. And then comes the structure that I personally recommend. So I'll write recommended. So intro, overall, body, paragraph 1, 2, or 3. So which one do you think is recommended? Like, I personally choose this one, but do you guys have a personal favorite? Which one would you choose for IELTS report writing?
I think the third one is better because
Sorry,
I
which one?
always use this structure.
Can you please repeat that? Which one?
Third one, I mean your version.
Okay.
Yep.
Anything else? Anybody else? AB, Joy, Chirag. Joy and Chirag, you're already using third one. Rishi, Yalda, and Ram.
yes.
Sir, it's my
Well-
first time to come across with this kind of information here.
AB, you'll have to repeat that. Your voice was crashing with someone else's.
I said to you, sir, like, it's my first time to having this kind of information, you know.
Okay.
I haven't been to expose any kind of writing stuff yet. It's my first time.
Not an issue. Alright, so the reason I recommend the third one is something that I'll share at last. So to add a suspense. Okay, see, the first one is okay but not recommended, because if you read the rubrics means the public band descriptor. If you look for IELTS public band descriptor, you'll find a PDF, and let's quickly show it on our website. So if you go to resources, extra resources, you can find it here. And if not, just scroll to the bottom and you should be able to see it here. So these are the IELTS rubrics, or so called the public band descriptor. And this is an assessment given directly from the test conductors, British Council, IDP, and the main Cambridge English, right? So if you look at these criterias and if you read these thoroughly, you understand this thoroughly, what you'll understand is you should be adding an overall, but they have never shared that where it should be. And that is the reason I don't recommend mixing it up with the introduction paragraph, because it is recommended that you have an overall paragraph, but don't merge it with intro. It's better to have it separately, because it's a criteria. You should have an overall paragraph in your IELTS report writing. So this is mandatory. Intro, overall is mandatory. So keep this separate if possible. Second thing is, of course, you need a body 1 and body 2. 2 are recommended because you also get bands for paragraphing. Third one is optional. It depends on the number of data. So if you have a lot of data, don't push it up to 1 and 2. So add a third paragraph, right? So this structure is the least recommended, or I would say do not follow this structure. You can see a lot of reports written in this structure. I wouldn't recommend this, because let's say as per the strategy, we are starting with task 2 and then task 1. But now the problem is, let's say we are writing this report, and all of a sudden we realize we just have 2 more minutes to go. So we cannot write a proper interview. What if we have only 1 minute or just a few more seconds? So we'll miss the overall part if we start from here. So it is recommended that you always start with an introduction, have a separate paragraph for overall. So you're done with the criteria. Intro is there, overall is there. And now you just need to elaborate body 1 and 2. And if it ever happens that you are out of time, you can simply complete something and finish the paragraph. So you'll never lose your pens. And overall, if you miss it, you lose a lot of pens. Is this clear?
Yes.
Perfect. So let's practice this one. Let's take this one. I think Jamshid already shared one more thing. Should we change the question now? Let's
I have
continue with this
shared
one.
another different budget, but the structure was exactly the same. It was identical. I can remember what I wrote in this table, and just the body paragraph was the same. I mean, the overall body paragraph was the same, but I couldn't finish this part, unfortunately.
Okay, not an issue.
Yeah, you can see that I used some kind of, let's say, just template because the items are categorized or something like this.
So which structure did you follow, Jamshid?
I mean, it wasn't actually structure. I mean, I used your structure. I mean, the introduction, overall, body paragraph. But when it comes to, there are some types of writing, that how we can write introduction or overall, and there may be some of the templates, but I created my own template when it comes to table,
Okay.
because you may have the struggle for how can I separate information, because usually in tables there would be so many information and we can't just select which one we can write or which one we cannot, and that's why I use this. I mean, you can see that what I have wrote just in the essays that I have sent here.
Okay, the one that you shared. So let's add this question on the screen. Okay, isn't it more than 150 words?
Yeah, it is close to, I think, 300.
No, it's 200.
Yeah, 200. I mean, yeah.
Alright, so I'll share simple suggestions to make it better. So sometimes I won't be correcting, sometimes I'll just be giving you suggestions. So don't consider it as a mistake.
Okay.
Alright. So Jamshid, you'll be explaining the table and then we'll go to the checking part. So what's going on here?
Should I explain?
Yeah, please go ahead.
I mean, this is table chart. You can see that the table below gives information about conservation. Actually, it has been a long time ago. Just I wrote this table.
That's okay. Like, what's
But-
your thought process?
Yeah.
How do you analyze this?
Okay. What I have analyzed in here, just. Oh my goodness, let's.
That's okay. I don't want you to put you on the spotlight. Jay, would you like to share your
Yeah.
analysis? Just tell me what you say. Just explain what you say. Whatever you say. And while he's speaking, Jamshid, look at the chart, try to understand, and then share yours.
Is that a percentage mark or something else?
This is percentage.
Okay.
And even others can share their analysis. That's completely fine. And then I'll share my perspective. AB, give it a shot. Even if you're new, just tell me what you see.
Yeah, like from the 2002, like the consumer spending in these countries, I think Turkey has the highest food, drinks, and tobacco usage.
So
And
it's
also,
obvious.
if you come from the clothing and footwear, like the Italy has, the highest, consumers. And if you come to leisure and education, Turkey has also like the highest
All right, let's
consumers.
look at the lowest.
Also, in terms of the categories like food, drinks, and tobacco, these are the largest. The people spend the largest money for this category.
Not the largest, I would say the highest amount of money.
Yeah, the highest. Yeah, the highest. And the second one, clothing and footwear, and the third and
And
the
the least one
least
is for
unfavorable.
leisure. Okay, I
Yeah,
don't agree with this
leisure
chart,
and education.
but still, let's say
Yep,
because
let's
nobody
say.
spends. Okay, these days we spend a lot of money on education and leisure. Then comes footwear and
And
clothing.
also among these categories, you can see that the highest one and the lowest one. For example, when it comes to leisure and education, the lowest one is 1.89. Spain,
Yeah. What about
right?
clothing, footwear?
Okay, here's the highest one, the 9%. Actually, there is not too much difference. Somehow the lowest and
Sweden, the Sweden is as like the lowest food, drink, tobacco, and clothing, footwear.
And what
And when
about
it comes to like leisure
food?
and education, I think like the Spain has like the lowest leisure and education expenditure.
So we can simply compare highest and lowest,
Oh, this
maybe.
is still pending. Italy. Sorry, not Italy. It has to be Sweden. Yeah, correct. So we already have the highest and lowest, and what we understood from analyzing this chart is simply this is the trend that is being followed in these different countries. And you don't have to mention whether it is European or whatever you're thinking. Just mention these names. That's it. I've seen many students trying to find that connection, and they will put certain countries to Europe and certain countries to different parts. You don't have to do that. Right? You lose your marks just by over analyzing. You don't have to analyze too much. Simply just whatever you see, you just need to show it. So introduction, you just need to focus on this part the most and partially look here if you can find something and paraphrase it. That's your introduction. When it comes to overall, make sure that you mention the highest and the lowest without mentioning the data. So data is this portion. Do not mention data. Yes, you can mention the year, but not the data in overall. Is it clear? So your overall should be
Yes,
free
sir.
of the data. Why should it be free of the data? Because it's just an overall, and we mention the data in body paragraphs 1, 2, and or 3. So this comes here. Is it clear? Any doubts so far in this one?
Yes, sir.
Any doubts?
I think we need a live example, sir.
Okay, let's check this one, and simultaneously I'll keep explaining. Right, the table provides. Okay, we'll quickly look at the names before we jump into table. So this is a shortcut that you can use to remember the correct form, correct name. So remember this company LG. Do you know what LG is? Is it a international company or is it Indian? I think it's an international company.
yeah, it is international.
Yeah, so
television
LG
company,
refrigeration. It's mostly into refrigeration. So simply remember line graph so that you don't accidentally write line chart. It's never line chart. It's always line graph. LG. Right? But when it comes to bar chart, line, sorry, again I made the mistake. So line, bar, pie, chart, but do not use anything for table. No bar, no pie, no chart. Sorry, no graph or no chart for table. It's just table. Is this clear? I've seen many students repeating the same mistake. Another quick tip for numbers is For numbers from 1 to 10, use words. Do not use numbers if the number is 1 to 10. Do not write 1 like this, 1%. Always write 1%. Is this clear? And for numbers
Yes.
beyond 10, you can write 11, 12, etc. So far, so good? Alright, so let's check this one. The table below provides, the table provides detailed data about consumer expenditure on various items among 5 different countries in the year 2002. Okay, let's isolate this one and then we'll scrutinize this. Okay, right off the bat, if you notice, things look very much similar. Can you see this? The table provides detailed information about, so on became about, consumers spending became expenditure, in 5 different countries became on various items among 5 different countries in the year 2002. So paraphrasing has been done, but the structure is still the same. Is it clearly visible that the structure is still the same? Just analyze both of these, the question as well as the introduction. And you can also give me suggestions on vocabulary, so you can change the words if you want to somewhere.
So can we write and send it over to you? That's the represent part.
Sorry?
Can we write this? Can we replace that thing and send it over to you on your personal?
Yeah, you can do that. So let's take 2 minutes, try to write this introduction, try to change the structure. You can add better words if you know it, and try to rephrase it. I'll start a timer for 2 minutes. I think we have a timer in this one. Yeah. So I'll wait for 2 minutes and then I'll ask for your introduction. Jamshid, your mic is on. You can turn it off. Yeah. Twenty more seconds. Alright, so timer is up. If you guys have your introduction ready, you can send it to me either through Telegram or my WhatsApp. And if you need more time, just let me know. We can wait for 1 more minute.
It's 1 minute more, sir. Sir, how many countries do you have there?
Your time is already up, but I'm waiting for submissions because I only received one introduction.
No, sir, like how many countries do we have there
Okay.
on table?
Yeah, just a second. 5. Fifteen more seconds. Alright, so I'll start posting the first one that I received. I won't name who sent it to me, but the ones who send it, they can already recognize their writing. Alright, so let's check the first one. It says the table provides, but the problem is T is capital. So the table provides detailed explanation about 5 distinct countries where consumers spent their expenditures on different items in the year 2002. It's somewhat similar, but yeah, this is a good one. So done. Let's take another one. So this is the second intro I received without the full stop. So punctuations, you lose band for GRA. This should be depicts the data, and this is meant to be table. Below depicts the data from the year 2002 about consumer expenditures on different items among, we cannot say among, among 5 different countries, full stop. So you change the structure for 2002. All right, we have one more. The table compares information about consumer expenditure on various items among 5 countries in 2002. It's almost the same. And we have one more entry, the last one. The table presents detailed statistical information from the year 2002 on consumer spending on various items across 5 distinct countries. So you guys decide out of these 5 which is the best one. So we'll name it as 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 introductions.
Fourth one.
Fourth
Five,
one?
fifth one, sir.
I'll go for the
Fifth
5,
one.
sir.
I'll have fifth one.
Fifth
The
one?
table present details.
Okay, we'll just
Yeah.
name the initials.
Simply-
Pooja says 5th one. Anyone else? AB said 5th one, I suppose.
I said
looks good, but
But
in the exam, I mean the real exam, we can't think of this kind of things. And this why I just paraphrase what comes to our mind.
Mhm.
This.
So we are yet to have ratings.
Yeah, but this one,
This one looks good, right?
yeah.
All right. So Jay, Chirag, Rishi, Aya, and Kaif. Just rate. Like, come on, give these numbers a chance. Jay, which one would you go with? Or Chirag, Rishi, and Kaif?
Sorry, sir, there was a
Yeah, that's okay. I'm just asking which one is the best intro so far.
fifth one, I guess, and third one.
Fifth and third. So Jay said this. Chirag.
I think fifth one.
Okay. Rishi. Okay, just a listener. Kaif.
Yes, sir. Fifth one, sir. Sir, sir, question is not like visible, but sir, I think according to me, it would be a fifth one.
Okay. Why is the question not visible? Okay, yeah, it's a bit blur. True.
Uh,
And do you guys have the option to zoom your screen on Telegram? Is it possible to zoom the screen?
Yeah, it is possible on
Yeah.
mobile phone. We can just zoom it and read the question. Also, the screen is very clear enough. Just we can see it easily.
yes, and now it is clear. I think, sir, it was happening due to network.
Okay. So let's claim these parts. So let's talk about the fifth one. So here I've written the table presents detailed statistical information because they are very specific about these things. They are giving exact percentage and even to the 0.1. Okay, you can say 0.01. So they are very specific. So we can simply say detailed statistical information from the year 2002. Now if you notice from the question, the location of 2002 has changed from year to somewhere in the middle. Can you see that? And still making sure that grammatically it is correct. On what? So consumer, right? Consumer spending. So this is where the consumers spend. Okay, here there is a small mistake. I can say consumer spending could have been consumer. I think Jamshid wrote it best. So consumer expenditure. So this can be changed to consumer expenditure on various items across 5 distinct countries. But let's say this small thing was missed. Consumer spending could easily be consumer expenditure. But do you think the student or someone who wrote this one would lose bands for that?
Yes.
Anyone else?
Now I got to know that it is written in a well mannered, but there is some mistake.
So there is something missing. So it's a
Consumer
typo.
spending. There's something missing.
Yeah. So a person who can write this introduction can easily change spending to expenditure. Don't you believe that?
Yes, it can be.
Got it? So now
It can be changed.
I want you to understand that there are two types of errors in the realm of IELTS. Okay, I'm just emphasizing it in the field of IELTS. So there are mistakes which are considered as systematic errors and non-systematic errors. So any idea what's the difference between these two? So mistakes are mistakes. Of course, if you make mistakes, you will lose pens. But which one is better?
I mean, non-systematic
Non-systematic.
errors.
Non-systematic errors are far better. So let's say if I'm reading this one, and in the initial stage I'm just reading the first two lines, and I find that articles are wrong. The articles are all mixed up. So can I just judge it right away that the entire report will have article errors? No, I can't, because it's just the first line. The person might have written it in a hurry. But what if I find the same errors in the second line, third line as well? Article errors everywhere. So now it is
Yeah, this is systematic.
systematic error. Now I can just predict that the upcoming paragraphs will be exactly the same if written by the same person. Let's take the same thing. Let's say the spellings are all messed up in the first line. I can still consider it can be a typo. But what if it is repeated in the second and third line? Or every two lines you can see spelling errors. So again, non-systematic or systematic error. So same thing applies for punctuations, grammar, you can say vocabulary, spellings. So all these things, they will simply judge you as per your systematic or non-systematic error. So if you keep repeating the same mistake, they will deduct your bands. All right. And the ones who have been taught by me, they know that I'm very specific about errors, and I bug you so badly that after a while you'll be like, come on, this guy has already told me 50 times, now let me change it anyway. And these small tweaks will eventually make your writing better and better, your speaking better and better. All right. So intro, good to go.
Sir,
Yeah.
the first line, the table presents detailed statistical information.
Mhm.
In the year, it can be like from the year, it is less
yeah.
correct, I guess, because
You're talking about
I
this
mean
one,
it is
right?
not grammatically. Yes.
We can say from
From
the
the
year
year,
2002.
we don't write.
The data
Yes.
is from the year, the whole 2002, not just in the year.
Yes.
Both are right.
In the year.
Right. So we'll change this
Okay.
to expenditure. So now it's better.
Yeah, better.
Okay. As this was fun, let's do it again. Let's try the overall. As I already suggested, do not use any percentages.
Well, teacher,
this one.
which one is better for you? I mean, among the introductions.
Among the introductions, so I
Yeah.
would go with this one because I wrote it.
Okay.
Okay, so I would say that.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
just give me one second. I liked this one a little bit because you can see a little bit of changes. I won't name the person, but I can see the structure was changed. This was our effort right now. See, anybody can change the vocabulary. Anyone can research, anyone can Google and search for vocabs. But if you want to fit the structure properly, it needs a little bit of effort. You need to put in efforts. Right? So if you notice, I'll just highlight something for you. Let's change the color to red. So if you notice 2002, 2002, 2002, it looks the same. Alright, so put in efforts to paraphrase it, restructure it, and there is one more thing you can do is you can completely make it passive to do the same thing. Let's take this one, the one that I've paraphrased. So if I make this passive, I can simply start with various items across 5 distinct countries have been depicted in the given table. Did you notice something? It's the same introduction, but I just flipped the coin. I made it from active to passive. And I just literally flipped the coin. That's it.
Yeah, that's clear.
So I took this data and I kept it here. See, passive voice is something that you should
Now
be.
this is the Jason's way. Now this writing it belongs to Jason, so like there is statistics. Yeah, definitely the last one, the passive writing. Yeah, that you change the structure of the statement from active to passive. That is commendable, and that is the right way to write whenever you are going to take IELTS exam.
Okay.
So that is going to be more appropriate introduction.
I'll share my analysis, and this will help you to understand why I chose this writing. Right? So I need to find my screen. There are a lot of screens now. Yeah, I think this is the one. Okay. Can you see my screen? So I just searched for IELTS report writing, and I received a bunch of results which shows the format of IELTS, and this is how the test would be. Let's take from Cambridge. So now you guys are well versed with these ones. Okay, we'll take the next one where we have a question. Yeah. So let's see a pattern that they follow. This is blur. Okay, this is a blur pick. We'll go to the next one. Yeah. Is this better?
Yeah.
So if you look here, they always start with active voice. The chart below shows. And I'm not just saying because of one report. Let's go to the next one. Yeah, the chart below shows. The next one. Okay, now we are receiving the again the graph below shows. Did you guys see the pattern? So they are always using active voice, and what you can simply do is you can change it to passive voice, and half of your paraphrasing is done. So if you check the one that I shared, that is exactly what I did. So if you look at this question, the one that Jamshid shared, you can again see the same thing. The table below gives. So I took that table and I added it at the last. So passive voice is something that you should be using very carefully, and you can show the examiner that you know passive voice, but don't overdo it. Because in passive voice, you're pushing the information at the last. So yes, in the introduction you can show passive voice, but try your best not to use that in the rest of the passages. But just to show the examiner that you can do this, do that. Is it clear? Passive voice, use it wisely.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yep, it's clear.
So again the timer, we'll write an overall and then we'll try to submit it here. And as I said, do not use any percentages. I should add a 3-minute time, if not more than that. So the timer is up and I have not received a single overall. Jamshed, Chirag, Jay, and Rishi, are you done? Am I audible?
You're audible, but writing an overview is the most difficult part of
It's not that
this slide.
challenging. I'll show you
It
how it is
can
done.
get easy.
But you can submit your version.
I still writing, but the selecting information kind of different in here.
That's okay.
It's the highest and the lowest one. You can also arrange the structures, you know. Oh my goodness.
You really don't need to get into the details. You just need to mention the most trending and the least trending. And we mark the highest and the lowest so that we can write the body paragraphs.
Ah! Yeah.
Your mic is on, Jamshed. Azhar, are you writing the overall paragraph? All right, so we received one.
Yeah, the most basic and the weak one, I guess.
Of course not. I think apart from Jamshed, Jay is writing. What about you, Chirag and Azhar, and also Rishi? We'll start with Jamshed's overall. Okay, first and foremost, food, drinks, and tobacco. These are not proper nouns, so we cannot capitalize them. And you should not be writing it exactly the way it is shared here. So consider it as actual products. So how would you refer to these things? You can say food items, drinks, and tobacco products. Does it sound much better?
Yes.
Right. And second thing is, you cannot say was for plural. So were, the categories, tobacco, TOBACCO. All right. So tobacco products were the categories with the highest consumer spending, and Turkey had the highest expenditure in this category. Leisure slash education. So can you see this mistake, like it's repeated again? So the next time when you write something like this, don't consider this as one entity. These are different entities. So the amount spent in leisure and for educational purposes. So try to show this change, so it sounds much better. It's better for the reader. It had the lowest consumer spending, with Turkey again having the highest expenditure in this category. Okay. Anyone else who is done?
By the way,
Mm-hmm.
what about the sample overall one? I mean, in the report,
The
the
overall
ones that I have sent you.
report is good because you
Yeah,
consider.
the overall.
Yeah. Apart from the things that I pointed out, the rest is okay because you tried mentioning the things from the countries. And if you look
Yeah,
at this,
this is maybe the 8th or 9th draft that I sent you, just because I checked it with ChatGPT again and again.
okay, this one.
Yes. No, not this one. I mean the full report.
Okay, the whole report. All right. See, even if you share this with ChatGPT, it won't consider this as a problem with your writing because it's grammatically correct. But as per the
Uh,
task achievement
this
criteria,
is
this
not
is wrong.
from ChatGPT.
Mm-hmm.
I
I'm
mean
just saying.
this one. I mean, yeah.
I'm
Okay.
just saying that even if you submit this to ChatGPT, ChatGPT won't consider this as wrong. This will be considered as correct. But if you read the rubrics, if you learn the rubrics, you'll get to know that you should not be writing it like this.
Okay.
All right. So let's look at one more It's incomplete, but we'll consider it. Overall, it can be seen that 5 distinct countries, so you should mention it with a colon: Ireland, Italy, Spain, Sweden, and Turkey spent their income sources on different, I don't know why D is capital, different groups. So this is a redundant skill. So this is done once and this is done again. So a redundant skill, and there are incorrect spacing, and tobacco is not a proper noun. The spelling was shared already over here. Clothing products, footwear, and leisure education. So no, this is not correct. Turkey people, we never say Turkey people. So in Turkey, people, and this is what a punctuation does. Right? So if you remove that punctuation, it sounds in Turkey people, but the pronunciation or the actual way of speaking is in Turkey, people spent more of their income in every categories where, yeah, you are still trying to write. So both of these overalls look a little bit like body paragraphs. Did you notice that? It started looking a little bit like body paragraphs. And I received one more. Let's say this one. Overall, it is apparent that food items, drinks, and tobacco products had the highest consumption, whereas leisure products and education were least preferred for spending. This can be upgraded a little bit more by adding a little bit more information from the question, but this is sufficient because this is just the overall. You're not supposed to do all the analysis and everything. Got it? And the things that we highlighted over here, you're supposed to share it in your body paragraph, because we cannot write every single thing in the essay. We're not even supposed to do that. You're supposed to take most of the data, especially the highs and the lows. All right. Can we make this better? Let's add a few more things here. Can we make this better? What could be added in this one?
We can add countries. I mean,
Countries
which
names.
country,
So yes,
for
let's
example.
try that. So we're talking about drinks, tobaccos, and which country contributed the highest. So we can say Turkey. So simply, where Turkey contributed the most, whereas leisure products and education were least preferred. And I think 1.98 is the lowest figure in this entire chart. So we'll take Spain into consideration, in which the residents of Spain showed the least interest. That's it, done. Did I make any mistakes in spellings, punctuations? Do let me know if I made any. Overall, it is apparent that food items, drinks, and tobacco products had the highest consumption, where Turkey contributed the most. whereas leisure products and education were the least preferred for spending, in which the residents of Spain showed the least interest in, as there are two products, leisure and education, in them. Done? Okay, so this is HI.
Well, can we make it 2 sentences because
Yeah, sure.
this is really huge.
It's a huge paragraph. Yes, this is far better now.
Yes.
And let's use AI as well. So this is HI, so human intelligence. Let's see what AI suggests. Alright, so let's make a small comparison between the two. So overall, it is apparent that food items, drinks, and tobacco products had, so the first line is good, the highest consumption with, okay, I wrote where, and here they used with, both are fine, with Turkey contributing the most, where Turkey contributed the most, so both are grammatically correct. Instead of writing whereas, AI used in contrast. Leisure products and education were the least preferred for spending. I wrote in which the residents of Spain, here it is written with the residents of Spain, both are still grammatically correct, it's just a variation of Spain showing the least interest in them, it's correct. So it's almost like 95-99% same, just with small tweaks. Done? And where you got stuck is with the data. Clear? So that's how introduction and overall is written. All you need to do is segregate these paragraphs into 3 parts, and you can write 1 paragraph for each, and make sure that you keep on doing comparisons, right? So we were talking about, I think we were here. All right, so writing task 2, writing task 1. Once you are done with this, listening, reading, I don't think that should be a challenge if you have put in the efforts. Today's session was a bit lighter, on a lighter note. I'm not sure why. There is no fire from the audience. You guys did participate. I'm so grateful for that. But it has been cold since the beginning. So, any other questions, any queries, or shall we end the session here? It's already 11:30 p.m. over here. Jamshed, Chirag, Jai, or Rishi, any questions?
No questions, sir.
Well, what do you think? Why did I get 7? I mean, some of the bands of 7. I mean, for my task 1, because I only wrote overall and body. I mean, no body paragraph, only 2 sentences for body paragraph, but still getting 7 just for some of the categories. Can you look at it?
Isn't it a good thing?
No, I mean, how can it be possible?
Let's see. So listening 7, reading 7, speaking 7. So the first part is speaking fluency and coherence. Second is,
I thought my pronunciation was the one that made me the 6.5, but I don't know why vocabulary. I used some of the high-level vocabularies. I don't know.
And you took it from IDP, right? The test was from IDP.
Yes, it was IDP. Literally, there is no difference in here except price.
Right.
because British Council is a little bit cheaper compared to the IDP. And what I know from British Council, it offers so many facilities and also things for students who are willing to take this PC, because there are so many, like, how to say, courses, free courses and practice materials and so many support. But with IDP, I don't know, just we only register it and receive some of the messages. That's it.
So it's all about preference at the end of the day. Some people are satisfied with IDP, others are with British Council. Alright, so we'll end this session here. And as I mentioned, the next Q&A session will be as per the IDP's schedule, and we'll follow the schedule from now onwards. So you guys can also be free on Saturdays whenever it is possible, and you can spend your time with your friends and family members. So a quick review on the dates. I'll quickly share my screen. So yeah, the next date will be on 10th of July. Alright. So wishing you guys all the very best. Keep practicing. Keep me posted about your scores, your updates, your learnings, and of course keep asking me doubts as much as possible. Alright. Chalo. So we'll end the session here. Thank you so much for joining. I'll see you guys on 10th of July. Take care. Peace.